I found myself in the town of Kassel, a town known to me before as the area where the A7 is crossing some major hills. To me, as someone who grew up in the lowlands of northern Germany, it was particularly intriguing to experience this sort of elevation. Just a week prior to a good friend of mine moving there, I went on a holiday in this region to go hiking. Since then, I have been there a handful of times enjoying the change in topography. On this day, nothing was really planned. We woke up late and had to wait for a delivery before wanting to set out for another hike. We had hoped that we could await the delivery and set out in the early afternoon. In the end, we set out at around 5 p.m, but didn't adjust our plans accordingly. Taking the regional train, we ended up at around 6 p.m, arriving in the small town of Melsungen where our journey should begin. The plan was to enjoy the old architecture of the town first, quickly buy some food for the hike, and then take our time to get to a nice sunset spot. We noticed early on that time would be short, but as soon as we left the supermarket, we realized how little time we actually had. It was 6:45 and the hike should take us about 2 hours. Sunset, however, was at 8:30 p.m. To avoid ending in darkness, the goal was clear, so we started knowing damn well that there was no stopping until we reached our destination. At least 15 minutes had to be reclaimed, and the best part? Apart from a small descent, we had to go uphill most of the time. Starting in the town of Melsungen, we couldn't even leave the town before ascending quickly. After leaving the town, we had to walk at the side of the road for a couple hundred meters before finally entering more quiet terrain. Still making our way uphill, we got to our first checkpoint. Crossing the main road marked the halfway point of our journey, but we still had 10 minutes to make up for. So we entered the forest completely focused on making our way as fast as we could. The terrain didn't complement our efforts at all until we finally managed to get on an actual forest path. Still not being able to lay eyes on our goal, we continued our way to the end of the forest. This is where we would be rewarded for all the effort we had put in so far.
Oh mein Gott, wo kommen wir hier raus?
Approaching the village of Hesla, we still had the clock ticking, but at least now we already had a view to remember. Past Hesla, we were to arrive exactly with sunset, which would be okay, but it would be even better to catch a small glimpse at sunlight. We crossed the A7 through an underpass and only had a few uphill fields to cross. Once again, the view was incredible. Entering the forest about 15 minutes before sunset, we took a quick breath before heading up the final steep incline with 12 minutes to go.
Ja. Warum? Oh mein Gott!
We made it. Starting the time lapse a few minutes before sunset, we were rewarded with one of the most beautiful sunsets I have ever seen. Despite our plan to make our way down to the train station before dark, we decided to enjoy this magnificent play of colors to its full extent. We went down the hill and were greeted by the small town lights and took the next train back to Kassel.